Want to watch this episode? Check it out on my YouTube channel by going to youtube.com/@lanternslive. Welcome to Lanterns Live, the only live stream YouTube channel dedicated solely to the Green Lantern universe. I'm Ralph, and I'm joined by Will Smith of
Green Lanterns Podcast.
Green Lanterns Podcast. And again, I keep forgetting to add my thing on the bottom. If anyone wants to follow me, you can follow me at Lanterns Live on all socials. Lanterns Live at all socials.
Everywhere ever.
Except for X. Somebody else has that when I checked all the stuff. So, yeah, it's not there. Man, alive. Episode 2. Lanterns. Ooh. Just finished. Will, what are your initial thoughts?
So, initial thoughts are, as soon as the episode ended, I looked over at the wife and I just said, we got us another one. We got us another great episode. Does it have the same effect as the end of episode 1? To me, it's like episode 1, it was more shock just knowing Hal was dead there at the end, but we didn't see it. For me, as a Green Lantern fan, seeing him go off, suit up, go off planet, arrive, sync up, see Sinestro, they have a little back and forth. He's asking Sinestro to tell him about the Manhunters, and Sinestro's like, I mean, you're asking about the Manhunters, but even if there was one alive, that would just be the second biggest threat to you right now, and that's where we end. It's less of like a, oh crap moment, but to me, it's a big, maybe bigger thing, just to me, the way that they ended that episode. And just, again, throughout the episode, there's a lot I really liked.
Yeah, totally. The I'm gonna say this, and now I'd seen this episode back in May, and they did something to Hal's suit since then, and I think it's more than just. I think it's more than just a green. It's definitely more green, because we saw that shot of the closet in the very first teaser. It's one of the few Green Lantern things we got in that teaser, and that's definitely more green. But I feel like, listen, it took me a while to get used to the ring, because it's not like any other ring we've ever seen, which is good. If you want to hear me talk more about Green Lantern's ring, listen to my episode that I did yesterday with Elias from the Ring Founder. We talk all about rings, but it took me a little bit to get used to that. I did get confirmation that Jeff, the prop master for Lanterns, when he said someone took like 20 minutes just analyzing the ring that he built, it was my show that made the news cycles. But it took me a while to get used to that. I love the ring, and it took me a little bit longer to get into the power battery, which was revealed tonight. And then I never liked the suit.
Fair.
That changed tonight. I thought it looked really good. I don't know if I'm just used to it because we've seen it in a teaser and a trailer. But it's not just the green. I don't know if they slimmed it up or if I'm just used to it. But Hal walking down the corridors of the science cells and stuff, he looked fucking badass. He looked awesome. So, now I'm full on board. I'm full on board with the design of the show. How do you feel about the suit? I feel like they changed the legs. I feel like they added some stripes to the legs.
I still, the suit to me, I saw it, I didn't love it. I didn't really hate it either. I understand that, they're doing physical suits. Guy Gardner had a physical suit, so, I knew Hal was going to be wearing a physical suit at some point. It was just always I'm much closer to the middle, 4 to 6 out of 10 rather than like thinking it was great or thinking it was horrible. But I do agree. Maybe the teaser was a little weird or the trailer was weird seeing him moving it. But the suit in the episode did look like it fit him better than what we had previously seen.
Yeah. So, like, I think I was about like at a 5. Do you want to know where I'm at now? I'm like at a 9.
Yeah.
I'm like at a 9, dude. I really liked it. I think it looked really good. So I don't know, man. This episode was awesome. I loved it.
Yeah.
And again, I've
I
seen
really
it before.
did too.
And
I'm in like a handful of other like Discord
man.
servers, and I see one is like hating on the episode pretty heavily, and then the other 4 are like,
let them.
Dude, this was so great.
Let them hate on it. Okay, so what about this? Paul Ben Victor, Atrocitus confirmed. What are your thoughts? We know that 14 alien species can mask themselves to look like human.
Yeah.
Do we think that Paul Ben Victor is Atrocitus? What are your thoughts?
I still feel like if you're just going off of the character description he was given when his casting got announced, that very much fit the mold of Atrocitus. And then what he has been in episode 2, the way he was talking to John, what he wanted to show him, describing what has happened to my people, all of that still fits Atrocitus for me.
Same. That's exactly what I think. I do. For me, it's like they mentioned that they could have shape, like there's alien species that can make themselves appear to be human. And everything he's talking about with manhunters, like his description, but with manhunters especially, like if anybody's watching or has watched Green Lantern animated series, I said watching because I'm currently on episode 5, the Mogo episode of Green Lantern the animated series. Anybody who's watched that series knows how tied to the Manhunters Atrocitus is, and the sort of massacre of Sector 666. And it feels like he's part of that.
Mm-hmm.
He's part of that. Man alive. So many things to talk about in this episode. Let's one of the things I noticed that I thought was funny is that Hal Jordan, his ringtone is like the default like iPhone ringtone, and I'm like, that's such a boomer thing, and that made me laugh. that Hal Jordan has the most boomer cell phone ring that you can possibly have. The best Lantern Prey seems to be seems more out of pure starving fans than showing any of the goods. And this opinion is based on other DC shows we got. It's here's the thing. We've said it since like it was announced that this was going to be an Earth-based True Detective style show, is that they want to keep the budget at a very manageable rate. Greg Berlanti was supposed to do Lanterns. I don't know, what was that? They announced that in 2019 or 2017 or something like that. And I feel like HBO was gun shy. They didn't want to pour that much money into a Green Lantern property because Green Lantern is not the most popular character. I saw some trailer for Game of Thrones. And the effects in Game of Thrones are like insane. And I feel like if Lanterns can continue getting the sort of critical praise it's getting and the fan praise it's getting, and if it continues to get the numbers that it got in the first week, that we can quickly get to a point where they start throwing a little bit of Game of Thrones money at this, where we're off planet. I think it's very doable. I feel like the way this show is now was going to be the only way they can get Green Lantern on television. I think it's a smart way. I think it's a budget-friendly way. And yes, they say a lot of Green Lantern stuff in this, but they don't show it.
Which
everyone's talking about the Mogo reference. That's what I was alluding to last week when people may have doubted if I had seen the shows before. I think it was on Wednesday's episode. I said, if for some reason you don't believe me that I've seen the episode, here is a clue. And I said there was going to be a big name drop, and there's nothing bigger than Mogo when it comes to Green Lantern. So that was the reference.
Yeah.
Dude, Will, okay. So when you first of all, Hal Jordan's house, that thing's nuts. When Hal Jordan says, yeah, and he doesn't hang out there. He said he hadn't been there in 8 years. But someone's feeding Earl. But we'll get to Earl in a second. Yeah. But when he said that the lantern's in a box in his closet, were you like, fucking here we go again? Like HBO afraid to do like Green Lantern stuff. They're not doing pocket dimensions. Because the first thing I thought was, man, they really got this low budget thing. Like, how hard is it to make a pocket dimension?
Well, to me, all the drops, like the little lore drops that they're dropping, even if they're not showing us that stuff. First off, I thought having Earl around was cool, but it did make me go, okay, Hal's got this giant house that he's at, and he's not really in it, even if he's living in there.
Yeah.
But he has to have some sort of groundskeeper who's taking care of the lawn, the grass, and the greenhouse out back. I love the little interaction that John had with Earl. Also, I guess confirming that, he did used to eat meat, and he is like vegan now. I know there was
we know as a kid he used to get cheeseburgers after getting apples shot off his head. Yeah.
Yes. And he was telling Earl about how, he used to eat meat, but now he doesn't. And then Earl just kind of jumped in head first to get as much as he possibly could.
Yeah.
But yeah, even like the Pocket Universe, just putting his arm into the wall, being able to see him kind of like fiddle around. I thought for a second the bird was going to bring it to him. But it seemed like he was able to get it on his own. When they are showing stuff like that, I do think it looks very good. I do think the flying has continued to look really good. Like the few times this episode, Hal was able to take off. I thought those were solid.
When he was hovering in Bushville, it looked really good. They must have had him either up on a cherry picker or something, because it didn't look like any like a comp shot. It looked pretty good. I think when a show like this happens, it's not an effects heavy show, which of course us Green Lantern fans are not, down with. We want to see all the constructs all the time. But it's nice that when there are effects, they look seamless. They don't look Yeah. So what do you think of okay, so here's what's going on. Is Hal Jordan basically is trying to get John out of his hair, books him a plane flight to Coast City, knowing full well that John wasn't going to be able to fly on the first time, books him a flight to Coast City to pick up his power battery so that he can investigate the murders. Like everybody's done with these murders. Nobody wants to deal with it. Sheriff Carey doesn't want to deal with it. William Macon doesn't want to chat about it. It sounds like Billy Macon's kind of like done with it. John's like ready to move along. So Hal sends him off to Coast City to buy him some time to do some investigating. And Hal busts into the coroner's office, breaks the glass, and steals the 4 aliens?
Yeah. He had stolen a couple. And we saw the one, but then he had some more in the back seat. Yeah. One of which that people pointed out has a gunshot wound to the head that looks very similar to the one that Hal had in
I noticed that too. I noticed that too. Very interesting. So do we think this is the same sort of scenario? There's also in this movie, there's a sniper marksman who was able to do a clean shot through the shoulder, which John was impressed by, and we know John's a sniper. So is the person in the tower, because I don't think we got a good look at the person in the tower. Is the person in the tower the one that killed Hal at the stadium?
Right.
Because maybe the exact same shot.
Maybe in 2016, one of the last things they tell Hal is don't come back here, or you're trespassing, whether it's on Macon's ranch or not. Yeah. And then he's there, so maybe they shoot him from a distance. And
because it sounds like Macon, right? Macon's the one that killed the aliens. at the
His
football
group
game.
killed Anton's group. Yeah.
So they have some sort of, those snipers that live on his farm can have a nice sort of station set up at the football field.
Mm-hmm.
And if that alien had the exact same shot as Hal Jordan, I feel like that could be it.
Yeah.
That totally could be it. I'm gonna do some scrolling because I have it's not working on Riverside, but Infinite Entertainment 99. Do you see Infinite Entertainment 99 in the our chat, or just on the other chat?
I just went back up to the top to start scrolling down. Okay,
so I'm gonna give a quick shout out here. I cannot bring your comment up, but they sent. I can't see. I'm on a tiny screen. I'll just say they. Infinite Entertainment 99 sent a $5 super chat. Says, gentlemen, how do I sell this show to my superhero hating mother? It seems that telling her it's by the Ozark guy wasn't enough.
Has she seen Aaron Pierre?
That's it.
Or
That's
Kyle
it.
Chandler.
Or Kyle Chandler. Friday Night Lights. I know that was I think a family friendly NBC show.
Mm-hmm.
Or
the
just
people
have
who
her
did
watch
Lost, The Leftovers.
Yeah, True Detective. Have her watch Green Lantern the animated series. See if she's into the concept of Green Lanterns first. I think that the first episode's a little tough because there's swearing and sex. This one has swearing and a dead wiener and some just gross stuff. So I don't know if your mom's not shy about any of that stuff. I don't know. Just say, hey, if you like Friday Night Lights, if you like Friday Night Lights, there you go. Just watch it just for Kyle Chandler because he's knocking it out of the park. I liked him a lot in this episode. You could see their dynamic kind of shift. Just looking at the expressions of Hal when John makes the canary. Because Anton says, what you're doing is insane. The fact that he's able to keep the construct of the canary going without the ring, Anton is giving John props for that. But if you look at Hal at the beginning, he's almost taken aback. Hal knows what John just did was nuts. And I think Hal now feels more threatened than ever. I love that John didn't know if he could trust Hal with the information given to him by Anton. John, when he talked to Zoe, was I don't know if I trust Jordan. And you could see while Jordan's doing the oath, which was amazing, when Jordan's doing the oath, John, you could see him make up his mind. You know what? I'm going to tell this guy.
Yeah.
And I think it's the oath that was also
during a moment. Yeah, where it seemed like Hal's sort of trying to hide the oath from John and not tell him what it is.
So even though Hal has sort of hung up the uniform in his closet, doesn't wear it anymore, seems to have turned his back on the Guardians, apparently caught Sinestro. The reason why Sinestro's in the science cell because of John or because of Hal. It seems like Hal is done. He has the feeling of a guy who's done bowing to the Guardians. But the fact that he said the oath while charging his ring, because I don't know if he has to charge it.
Yeah.
The fact that he says the oath made John think this guy still has a code. This guy still lives by some sort of Green Lantern code to say the oath. And that's when he decided to trust Hal with the information.
And then when Hal goes to meet Sinestro to get information, he put the uniform back on.
Yep.
He wanted to be uniform suited up to go see his old mentor.
Yeah.
There's so much here. I love so much.
All right, I'm going to try
I
to
like
catch up
the
here.
password. Mogo does not socialize was terrific. That was excellent.
Yeah. Yeah. They're saying all the right stuff for Green Lantern fans.
Yeah,
They're
I
saying
think so
all
too.
the right stuff. The box that opens, where the Pocket Dimension box,
Hmm.
the voice almost sounded like Aya. It was this
Oh,
close. And I watched the credits to check to see if Grey Delisle was part of this, but there was no credits for the voices. So I don't know if that was her. The ring does speak, which is nice because we didn't hear Guy's ring speak. This ring has a male voice, and it told Hal like that his ring power was almost depleted, and then said it was completely depleted when he was hovering above Rushville. So that's something from the comics that I don't think we've seen in many of the animated stuff. I think in Green Lantern, Rise of the Manhunters, the video game, Grey Delisle did do the voice of the ring in that game. So it's really nice to see in the comics, the rings talk all the freaking time. Like the rings are always giving out statistics and stuff to the Lantern. So it was really, really nice to hear the voice of the ring, because we haven't really seen that before. It didn't happen in Ryan Reynolds' Green Lantern, but yeah, it is. It's one of my favorite things about the Green Lanterns is the fact that the rings can talk to the ring bearer. Speaking of rings, Ninja Lantern 2814 asks, "What ring are we sporting today?" It's a red ring in honor of Paul Ben Victor. I don't know if he's Atrocitus or not, but it's a mistake ring that has the Sinestro logo on it, like it was a misprint. So this is representing both Paul Ben Victor and Ulrich Thompson, who is here.
I wonder if either one of mine are. No,
Yeah.
they're just the regular one. I don't have the collector's edition like you.
I have two of them. I went through bags. We found a couple air rings at the comic book shop I worked back when Blackest Night came out. We get the big bags of just full of them. And my boss found this one, and he wanted me to go through and find all of the ones that were wrong. And I'm like, so you're telling me my job today is to plow through like 300 rings and look at every single one to see if one's mismatched or wrong? It's like, sounds like a good day's worth of work.
Yeah,
That's how I would sit there and just look at lantern rings
messing
all day
with the GL
long.
stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I may have kept a couple of them that I found. And I have this red lantern ring with Sinestro's logo on it, and I also have a blue ring with Sinestro's logo on it. Pretty rad. What'd you think of Ulrich Thompson as Sinestro? We got a little bit here, but what do you think?
Yeah, I think that just the little bit of on-screen time that he had at the end, I thought was really cool. I mean, I get why he has the outfit that he does. I would like to see him kitted up in like the Sinestro Corps gear. Like that would be the most ideal. But just Hal, it's just so Sinestro. Hal is showing up to meet with Sinestro to demand information from him. And Sinestro finds a way to make Hal come across as like not as caring. Like, I'm your former mentor. Sinestro would even, say that they were friends or are friends, despite everything that has went down. You can't give me a hi, hello, how are you doing first?
Yeah.
By the way. And then he throws in like an extra, bit of salt into the wound. Like, if there's a Manhunter back, that would just be like the second most threatening thing in like your periphery, Hal Jordan. Referencing that John taking his job is like the number one threat. And it's like, is John really the number one threat? Or is Sinestro just always sort of throwing stuff at Hal Jordan to make him question things?
Yeah. Which do you think it is? Do you think he...
I don't know.
How does Sinestro know about John Stewart?
That's a great question because you would think he's been locked up for a bit and he's only been training for 2 months.
Right.
So how does he know?
And it sounds like Sinestro or Hal hasn't visited Sinestro in quite a while. Maybe it's been 2 months. Maybe as soon as he got Hal got the assignment, he went to Sinestro and said, check out this bullshit. But the way Sinestro was talking, it sounded like he knew from somewhere else. But I mean, next week it looks like we're getting the episode with John's backstory when John's a baby, and it looks like there's a green glow on the baby John's face. I don't know if you watched that preview after the credits this week, but if they've been training John for however old he is, like 30 years old or so, let's say, maybe Sinestro heard about this before.
Okay, I mean that's fair, but the part I would question on that is just that, like, to me, he could know that the Guardians are grooming John to take over something at some point, but not specifically Hal's replacement, I would think, until the last 2 months. It almost makes it seem like the people who are... There's got to be still people at the cell, kind of like... I don't know why I'm blanking on what they're... Yeah, just, somehow there's an exchange of information going on here in some fashion for Sinestro to be able to keep up with, like, the day-to-day of things that are going on. Either that, or, Anton's team, despite being very much like Red Lanterns with the story, that device they use on John to make him get the backstory of what happened to them, it has like yellow energy in it. Yeah. And it's something I noticed in the first episode that I didn't bring up, but then I noticed it again today in the second episode. When they are making constructs with the ring, if you look at like the particles and stuff that's fizzling up,
oh yeah,
it's not just green. There is yellow in there. And when John went like this with the bird, I think there was some yellow on the bird in that moment. I'll try to...
They're gonna set up parallax? People are talking parallax. People are saying that the gold in the ring, which is like a brass, I'll use this crummy ring, or this one. This is just a 3D printed ring, but it's good for showing. That the yellow part is yellow. But as I was talking with Elias yesterday, I feel like that's just a brass that sort of closes the circuit when it gets inserted into the power battery.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like it's a conductor. But if you're talking yellow in the constructs, let's go.
I'm gonna try to pull one up here in a second.
Jeff Biscamp asks, "Can you buy the lantern yet?" No, but I'll tell you what. Listen, man. Again, it took me a while to warm up on the power battery, but I got chills when John pulled it out of the pocket dimension and set it down, mixed with the music and that push, like a real beauty shot of it. I want one. I want a power battery. I want that lantern. Yeah, a lot of people I see online are asking if they can buy that somewhere. I've seen people selling it on Etsy. Like people are doing 3D printing and stuff and making their own on Etsy.
Yeah.
I talked to Elias yesterday from Ring Foundry, and I was like, "Are you ever thinking of becoming the Lantern Foundry?" but it doesn't sound like it. But man, like I would, yeah. I really want one now, and when it's glowing, it looks so good.
Yeah, I seen that 3D one. I also saw somebody take the same files of that 3D one, and then they did a whole bunch of extra work with it with a special type of like paint and coating to make it like more metallic-ish.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked my buddies who do 3D printing like what that would look like for cost, and they said to do what that guy did, to make it look basically like it's glass, that would take a 3D print, instead of costing like 160 to 180 in materials, up to like over 400 in materials alone. So then I have somebody make it, ship it and all that, you'd be looking at like a $600+ order on it. So like that's out of my price range.
Yeah, but like start saving for sure, right? I would start saving. I have like
I'm just gonna
a dead car and a dying cat.
just gonna share this on screen.
Oh yeah, look at that.
So if you look, this is as he's making the bottle opener.
Yeah.
And there's not just green in there. There's another color in there. It doesn't look as yellow here as it does in some of the other ones, but every single time
we're gonna yell
it
brown.
Seems like yeah, they are gonna, because his jacket's brown in the background, so it kind of looks like it. Maybe it's like without color.
Well, Ripner brings up a good point here. Ripner brings up a good point that says even the intro has yellow inside the Lantern logo.
Mm-hmm.
So when you first see it like this, and it spins and turns into the end of Lanterns, there is a yellow in there. So is that the impurity? Is that what we're going to get with Hal? I honestly have no idea. But listen, we heard rumblings of James Gunn saying that the big bad of the DCU might come from Lanterns. I don't know if they're setting up Brainiac here. But dude, like, if they're doing Parallax, can you imagine Kyle Chandler showing up in a bunch of DCU stuff?
I would love him to be in a bunch of
Parallax?
DCU stuff. Just to still have him around at this point because of how great his performance has been. I would still, if Parallax was the only option to have him around, I would still absolutely take Parallax just to have him around.
Yeah. Darren's here. Darren, sorry I'm late. My adult children wanted to watch Phineas and Ferb instead.
Hey,
I mean, this isn't a kid. This isn't a kid for or a show for kids. So. The alien in Lanterns is John Jones of Mars, Martian shapeshifters. I don't know. I think I'm going to say this. No, I'm not going to say it. We'll discuss it next week. Let's just say that.
Oh,
the whole Martian Manhunter-ness of it all, because Maverick 77 Defender. Let's chat about that next week because I don't want to get into it too much, but I definitely have thoughts. Sinestro talked to incoming prisoners. Could be. Intergalactic gossip. Could be. I'm really interested to know how Sinestro knows Jon Stewart.
Yeah.
It's a tough call. We didn't get any more 2026 in this.
I think it was fine. I think when you're juggling a bunch of timelines, I think that you definitely need to be careful about. Let me turn that down. Sorry. You got to be careful about how much. I started playing episode 2 because I'm trying to look for something. And then off there's just going off.
I have a 7:30 alarm set for my cats who get, I don't want to say the word.
Yeah.
Little bite-sized fun snacks. If I say the T word.
Yes.
They perk
my
up.
dog will go nuts.
Yeah. Majid says, next episode is probably the most talked about episode from the critics who've seen the first 7. Can't wait for John's backstory. I will say this. We'll say this about the next episode. It's probably it is my favorite version of John's backstory that I've seen anywhere.
Ooh. I mean, that's super promising.
John's backstory always been kind of muddled. We know he was a Marine. We know he was an architect. I think the show will deal with both of those things by the time we're done. But yeah, was the name drop Antan. No, the name drop, the big name drop I alluded to earlier in the week was Mogo.
Yeah, physically big.
Mogo's physically big. He is for those of you who don't know, Mogo is a sentient planet that is also a Green Lantern. So if you don't know much about Mogo, I would say go to Wikipedia, watch episode 5 or 6, I think, of Green Lantern the animated series. Just do a deep dive on Mogo. Mogo's awesome. Mogo's a huge part of Green Lantern lore, and it was really fun to hear a name drop. So we know that Hal goes out pretty often to do galactic stuff, and he's aware of Chip. I don't know if he knows Chip's name, but he definitely knows Mogo, and he knows that Mogo doesn't socialize. There is also a story called Mogo Doesn't Socialize in the anthology animated movie Green Lantern Emerald Knights, which is really good. If you like Rowdy Roddy Piper, he plays a character, Bolfunga, who goes head-to-head against Mogo, and dude, it's super good. It's super good. A lot of folks talking about Garrett Dillahunt possibly being tied to the hospital, or not the hospital, the morgue. The morgue.
Yeah.
He was wearing all black.
Can we talk about that for a sec?
Yeah.
But let's talk about, I feel like, once we've had the Manhunter drop, right. I think that there were hints in this episode that, I'm not saying what is right or what is wrong, but I think that there was hints in this that could make you think that maybe not the way Hal's acting would lead you to believe he's a Manhunter, but maybe I think John thinks that Hal might have something to do with the Manhunter because of all the stuff Anton said. But I think when you look around, could it be Garrett Dillahunt's character that is the Manhunter? Could it be, the one that I feel like they're pointing to right now the most is Sheriff Carey. She wants Hal gone, and she gives her reasons for it, but she has been trying to get him to stop what he's doing, get him out of the way for 2 episodes now. She is privy to what is going on. She knew it's alien tech. She's married into the family, so there's a layer of protection there. And then, she knew where Hal was after the, she was in a town hall when Hal went and got the aliens.
Yeah.
So she knew as soon as that was over, exactly what he was going to do, found his car, pulled him over. And then on top of that, you go into the hospital scene, and Hal gets released before he even wakes up. He's cleared to leave before he wakes up. There's nobody in the hospital at all.
That's weird too.
And then when he is checking out and he's writing his name, he flicks through a couple of the sheets, and there's no other names on any of the other sheets. So it makes it look very suspicious towards her that something's going on.
Yeah. Also, did you notice? So when Hal drags the bodies through the alien detectors, there's that little thing in the upper corner that's detecting aliens. It's a little black orb, and then we also see that at the town hall when Hal walks in. Right. So this alien tech is all over the place, and I think that it might be at the hospital as well. Are all these people aliens?
And then, what Hal was saying, it looks like all the equipment has been freshly unboxed or uncrated, and it's just put here. But
I saw someone mention that they think the Manhunter is either William Macon or Zoe Macon. Bounty Hunter, how you doing, dude? See you tomorrow. Would be real awkward for John if Zoe ended up being the Manhunter. 100%. So yeah, too many coincidences surrounding the Macons. Agree.
Can we dissect that for Zoe though? We just went over the reasons why it could be Carrie because of all the coincidences. The only thing that makes me sus of Zoe at all is just that, and one of it's not even her fault. One of the scenes, she just happens to always be where John winds up. She's in the background of the bar, and she's like listening into John's conversation, and then here she is at this restaurant. But outside of that, she hasn't really done anything that strikes me as like super weird yet. Where maybe just early on, it's just like really pointing to. And I want to like Sheriff Carey. I'm just saying that she's acting more suspicious than anybody.
It sounds like whatever's going on in this town, a lot of people know about it.
Yeah, and everybody's
Sheriff
at the town
Carey's
hall.
like, hey, get out of here. Zoe's weird. Macon's weird. This NDA that he signed and this benefactor thing is weird. It seems like, and everybody's like against Hal Jordan. That whole town meeting, it sounded like that was a town meeting to talk about Hal Jordan. And everyone seems to be in on this thing. And I don't trust anybody. I trust Jon Stewart. And I trust Hal more than whatever these people are up to.
See, somebody was asking if Sheriff Carey is the manhunter, you think Macon would have caught on, or no, since that's his daughter-in-law. Again, maybe it's like one of those things where you keep your enemies close because you would think that those closest to you couldn't do something wrong like that. I don't know. And she could be 100% just be properly sheriffing, trying to make it, like, her reasons I understand. Like, you don't want to make everybody panic, because what does that do for everybody? Nobody at this point, if everybody thinks that there's aliens here and they're scared, what does that do to the town? Does everybody still show up for work the next day and make sure that the town's operating smoothly? Do people start doing their own investigations because they think that Carrie, can't handle these duties? So then they start looking into it, and then they start ruining, like, she gets hot on the trail of something. Maybe somebody throws it off. Like, there's many good reasons for her to want to just keep the town, like, status quo, operating as normal. But it's just like, it's too early in the season for them to, like, throw it in your face this much and then have it be her. So I don't think that it is. But it's just like all the sus signs point to Carrie right now.
Everybody is, because, like, even like, okay, so Garrett Dillahunt, so William Macon, like, appears to know that John had sex with his wife.
Or he at least uses
he's not gunning down John. And then Sheriff Carey and Billy don't seem that close.
No. I did love that part of the scene where they're in the town hall and she's like, honey, and they both are like, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was great.
Hal being Hal. Maybe everyone in the town bangs each other. It's possible, because there's stuff they're all keeping quiet. Yeah. Zoe keeping tabs on the Green Lanterns. This one I thought was interesting. Where did I see that? Patrick Case. Macon is the Manhunter, and the NDA is with the Guardians.
I like that. That's
fun. That's really
fun. And Macon's
fun.
super weird. And then when you think about it, Hal keeps saying that there's something on Macon's ranch that he doesn't want Hal to know. Well, if you're a Manhunter, you don't want the Green Lanterns to know about what you got going on your ranch. So if they have this weird tech that Hal's never seen before, that 100% could be it. And then the Guardians wouldn't want Hal to know, maybe, that, they made the Manhunters, and that Manhunters are still alive and around. Because, again, kind of like Sheriff Carey trying to keep the town even keel, if Hal knows, and we've seen Hal in the show say himself, when she was like, I only have 30 seconds left of patience, and he's like, I don't think I can even wait that long. If Hal knew that there's Manhunters around, what are the chances he would tell the rest of the Corps at that point? Because it could be like this ultimate threat for them. So that's, there's many. That's a great shot at William Macon.
So Hal, like, nervously, like, Hal is confident. Hal is a man without fear. That has been established. When John brings up Manhunters, Hal freaks out and says, where did you hear that? And he does ask, did you tell the Guardians this? Which means John's still in communication with the Guardians. But also Jordan So John says he hasn't, basically. So it sounds like Hal is afraid of the Guardians knowing this information, but is totally cool telling it to Sinestro.
Yeah. And again, maybe that's some of that, like what has Sinestro passed down to Hal to make him sort of question.
So it seems like so we're getting kind of bits and pieces, and just it's only been 2 episodes, and we've got so much more information. So anybody out there who said, I wish Green Lantern was a movie instead of a TV show, look at all this stuff we're getting. We're going to get like 8 hours of Green Lantern stories out of this. But they're sprinkling in that Hal does not trust the Guardians at all. It's why he doesn't wear the suit. It's why he doesn't wear the mask. It's why... Yeah. Interesting. I find that really, really interesting. They're really laying this out. I'm wondering what else I've missed watching the show it's going to slap us across the face once it's revealed.
Yeah.
The town itself is super suspect. We know that Abin Sur crashed somewhere around there. We know that Abin Sur, or if we were to believe Anton, we believe that Abin Sur was carrying a Manhunter, and it seems like the Manhunter killed Abin Sur, and Hal got the ring. And that this town, which is located, we know, where Abin Sur crashed, and there's something on the farm that William Makin's hiding, and William Makin has all kinds of crazy tech and won't say where it came from, and there's a hospital with like no patients, which means people are nice and healthy in Rushville, and also these alien detectors that he's putting up at football stadiums and at town hall meetings and stuff. Like, it sounds like William Makin has Abin Sur's ship and has been sort of backwards, what do you call it? Reverse engineering.
Yes.
Alien
like
tech
from it.
But
and then making it their own.
But he also has this thing where he's afraid of aliens. And so he's building up an army or a militia to stop any aliens that come into Rushville. Because Anton said he can't get into Rushville because they've got all the detectors. There's some sort of radiation field that will detect them or something like that. So they're using John, a human, to be able to get in there and get the information for them.
Mm-hmm.
So it just sounds like all of this, like, I don't know if William Makin's protecting a Manhunter, if he is a Manhunter. But it sounds like it's going to be Manhunter versus Alien at some point, because Makin's ranch was destroyed in 2026.
When John comes back to meet up with Hal to tell him what happened with Anton, he does interrupt his story when he's going over, like, Hal getting the ring, and he's like, an Abin Sur's ship crashed and he died, or maybe the Manhunter killed him. And John was like, yeah, that's how you got your ring. Almost to be like, you do see how I can see you benefited from Abin Sur dying. But he still ultimately decides to trust and work with Hal at that point anyway, give him the suit, give him the lantern, so he can charge his ring back up, and share all of the information. I don't think he withheld anything. He gave him all the info that he had gotten. He even told him about the whole 48-hour thing. And then now seeing how that plays out over the next 48 hours, will they be able to identify and capture a Guardian in that time? Or will Anton's people go ahead and start running roughshod over Rushville? Because we've already seen that when you capture his people, they are willing to explode themselves like they did when they were locked up. Like, if one's willing to do that, what do you think the others are willing to do? Like, it could get crazy quick.
Yeah. It feels like, I'm assuming Makin's ranch, because in the trailer we see like that water tower come down and we see explosions and people like fighting around Makin's ranch. I think there was a teaser where it looks like a hangar is exploded. So we have a ticking clock now. We have 48 hours. So I'm assuming that we'll get to the end of this 48 hours within like the next couple episodes. that John has to discover who the Manhunter is and ID the Manhunter within 48 hours. And they gave him like a flip phone, so at least he doesn't have to like fly back to Coast City where Anton is. He could just call him and say, so and so's the Manhunter, and then maybe buy some more time. But there's a ticking clock. Yeah. Yeah. Darren asks, hey, where's Coast City supposed to be located in California? I noticed when John was on the freeway, there were signs for the 710. Yeah, there's been like Coast City has been sort of an analog for Los Angeles. Sometimes it's San Diego. Some people think it's up like by San Jose. But in Jeff John's run in the No Fear, which is when his Green Lantern #1 that came out post Rebirth, John was a pilot at Edwards Air Force Base. So I think somewhere I would say in the southern portion of California along the coast would be Coast City. But I don't think there's Coast City's team is the Angels. So maybe Coast City is somewhere around like Orange County, maybe like a Newport Beach or something. Not sure. I'm really not sure. There's a non-zero chance Hal's going to smash the sheriff. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. No sex this episode. Just a dead dude's dong.
Yeah.
Ripner. John constructs a giant drill at one point. I wonder if they start excavating for Abinsur's ship or something. I mean, that's basically where we landed on this episode with Hal and Sheriff Carey was like, he's like, I got to get on that farm. And she's like, no fucking way. And I have a feeling that's how they're going to do it. That's how they're going to get on the farm, is that giant drill. There says he thought it was Santa Barbara. I have no idea. I don't know if there's a definitive place where Coast City is. I always kind of liked it being San Diego because it's kind of near Camp Pendleton and stuff. And there's a lot of aircraft that fly around in there. Air Force, I believe, is over there too. Yeah, dude, let's pickaxe that. That UFO. What else? What other thoughts do we have? I loved the way the lantern looks. I liked the rock with either a frowny face or a happy face, depending on which way Hal put it. The canary is so cool. For those of you that joined the Honor Guard, who are part of the Honor Guard, it's only 99 cents a month. You quit at any time. If you look at like let's see, Curtis and Darren and Comic Jack and Pragland, you could see the little emblems next to their names. Those are all members of the Honor Guard. Those badges, Green Lanterns podcast, is brand new to the Honor Guard. You have a white circle, just like a Lantern trainee.
Yep.
I think that changes after your first month. After that first month, you get an Alan Scott. And after 6 months, you get the Green Lantern emblem. Vactor, who's not around, he's been an Honor Guard member for a year, and he has a Red Lantern symbol. And for every year after that, we're going through the whole spectrum, all the way to a 10-year Guardian. So you do that; it's 99 cents a month. You'll get the emojis that you see these guys doing. Yesterday, I just dropped a new emoji, which is the John's Canary. Which was sort of suggested by Dave. And that's totally a lot of fun. And you'll get member-only streams. Which members-only streams,
yep.
The way he casually, quickly recited the oath. Will you theorize, like, when we're talking like way back when, you thought they weren't going to say the oath until like the last episode, like they're going to build to that moment.
Yeah, and now we're 2 episodes in, and we've heard the oath 2 times.
Right.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yep. It's so good. I love that.
It's nice when you're getting more than what you expect.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm not a downer or a hater or anything like that. It's just we had Guy Gardner in Peacemaker. We had Guy Gardner have multiple scenes in the Superman movie, and they never said the oath in those. So it kind of felt like, okay, maybe they will hold the oath as like this big thing for fans as the season went on. And instead they were like, no, we're going to have Waylon Sanders be the first person to recite it in the show. And then we'll have a Green Lantern recite it in the second episode.
So here's the thing. We have a couple of timelines going here. It seems like next week we're going to get John younger, pre 2016, and we've seen John in 2026 who he didn't have a ring. Are those going to come together in episode, like all these storylines going to come together in episode 8? We know John has to get the ring at some point. It doesn't look like he has it in 2026. Are they saving John saying the oath for the finale?
I mean, that could be the big thing. We get the John, everything comes together for John, and he gets the ring, the suit, the battery, charges it up, and then goes to close out the season on some high note, beating up some baddie that becomes like the,
flying off to
like
Metropolis.
The actual, yeah, and then fly off to Metropolis to get ready to go hang out with Superman.
That's so awesome, dude. Dude, listen. I know there's a lot of Hal fans out there. I'm a Hal fan. I'm a major Hal fan. But I got to be honest, man, just the thought of having Jon Stewart in Man of Tomorrow, it's like making me so happy. It's making me so happy. Dude. By this time next year, we have already seen Man of Tomorrow. By this time next year, you and I have already discussed Man of Tomorrow at some point and Jon Stewart's involvement. Unless there's some weird bait and switch. I don't know. Is John 40 in Man of Tomorrow? I don't even know how old John is now. But I think next week we get the birthday. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't think they've said just yet.
Yeah. But he looks great. He's still the youngest Lantern, though. For all the haters who complain that Hal Jordan's too old and Guy Gardner's too old, like, I don't want to steer hearing that Jon Stewart's too old. These guys are great. I just
haven't seen their age affect them in any sort of negative way for the show so far.
Yeah. Comic Jack says, I was surprised they didn't show any of the 2026 stuff this episode. Yeah, that's interesting. But it looks like there's a lot of, we've seen a lot of footage from trailers that still has Kyle Chandler in it. So as long as we still get Kyle Chandler in the show, they could stick around in 2020 or 2016 all they want. Finale will probably show Red Lanterns being born. That would be great. Or Anton shapeshifting into Atrocitus. We have seen Paul Ben Victor in a behind the scenes shot where he was getting video capture. He was getting scanned.
Yeah.
A full body scan. So there must be a reason why they body scanned him. Could he be Atrocitus?
My hope.
Yeah. The main baddie is Dexter.
I would love that. I love a good kitty.
Listen, guys. James Gunn fucking loves animals. If we don't get Chip, we get Dexter. There's got to be something. If there's Atrocitus, Dexter's going to be right by his side.
Has to be. You can't have him without him. I feel like it's a combo.
Yeah. Atrocitus is just going to be some old dude. It'll probably be a giant CG thing, voiced by Paul Ben Victor, who had a great voice. So we'll see.
Ripner had a good point. All the year dates, 1996, 2016, 2026, all end in a 6, 6, and a 6, or Sector 666, Atrocitus.
All roads lead to Atrocitus. Does anybody... Chip mentioned at least. That's good. I love the episode. Will, you seem to love the episode. You're about to split in a few minutes to go do your stream. I actually have work to do in LA.
Look at him humble bragging over here. I got a job.
Well, yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. But I have to actually get in my car and go. So this is what's going to happen. We can, folks in the comments, leave some final questions. I'm going to take off in about 4 minutes, as is Will. So drop your questions quick, drop your theories quick. We're going to blast through them lightning round style, and we're going to bounce. But I'm going to be here maybe Tuesday. Maybe Tuesday I'll do another one of these episodes. Me and you will be here Wednesday for sure, because Green Lantern's still happening in the comics, and there's a new issue of Green Lantern. It's Green Lantern 38. Jeremy Adams, Zermanico. We're going to be discussing that on Wednesday, so you can come by. We'll probably chat about Lanterns some more, but I'll definitely be around probably Tuesday. We'll see how my week goes, but I'll definitely do. Look at that. He's got the mask and everything. We'll definitely chat more about this episode.
So you got to send me your Addy, and then when I'm at work tomorrow, I'll get it shipped out.
Yeah. Yeah, there's too many differences between Anton and Atrocitus to fully believe that theory.
Yeah.
The entire town are aliens. Thoughts?
I think that's fair at this point. Like, we need more information, but right now it's all highly sus.
There's a lot of stuff that's crazy suspect. Why does Hal not know what the Manhunters are, despite him being a veteran jail? He does know what the Manhunters are. He does know. That's why he leaves. He says, "Where did you hear that?" Hal is definitely aware of the Manhunters, but doesn't trust the Guardians to sort of give him the information about the Manhunters, so he goes directly to Sinestro just to kind of clarify some stuff.
I think the conversation he's having with Sinestro, like the way that it's worded, could make it sound like he's asking him for any information. Like, I don't know what the Manhunters are. Can you tell me? But I think it's more like, again, Sinestro's heard about John replacing Hal. Yeah. So maybe he's heard rumblings and grumblings of like Manhunters being present over the recent years while he's been locked up. What can you tell me about that?
Yeah. One more thing. One more question, and we're going to bounce. If it turns out to be Atrocitus, do you think it'll be a good depiction of him? I think so.
I mean, if we get to a point where we see his true form, that would be sick. That would be so awesome. And there's ways that it can be done. I think Paul Ben-Victor can be a very intimidating guy as well. So it really just depends on like the writing. Like, we're 2 episodes in, he's been on screen for all of like 8 minutes. I think he's going to do a good job in the role. I do hope he's Atrocitus, but like, we'll have to see how that plays out.
I mean, yeah, I'd love it. I'm going to say thank you to everybody for joining us. I'll be back in a couple days to chat more about this episode, because I have a lot more on my mind. Everybody now head over to Green Lantern's podcast right here on YouTube. Will's going to be going live on his channel, and go chat. Go send some of your best theories over there as well. And we'll catch you guys in a couple days, and come back Wednesday for Green Lantern 38. And then I'll see you next week. We'll be chatting more about John's backstory and Lanterns episode 3. Thank you for joining me, Will. Until next time, beware my podcast. It's Lanterns Live. Bye.